Hello guys, today in this video, we are going to help you to find out the best wireless gaming keyboard in market. I made this list based on my personal opinion and I tried to list them based on their quality, durability, customer review and more. If you want to see their price and find out more information about them, you can check our links in the description below. Number 6. Razer Turret. If you want to solve several cord-related issues with a single blow, the Razer Turret has you covered. It's an excellent, sturdy mechanical keyboard with a built-in, retractable mouse pad paired with a top-shelf wireless mouse. The Turret works seamlessly with both PCs and Microsoft's latest family of consoles, the Xbox One. Retailing at $250, the Turret is right around the price you'd pay for a decent wireless gaming mouse and keyboard independently, and you're getting quality products for your money. The Mamba equivalent of the Turret performs as its separate counterpart, with a 16,000 dpi sensor and a robust IPS rating. The keyboard is indistinguishable in terms of performance from Razer's Black Widow. All in, it's a great way to clip two cords at once, especially if you're gaming from the sofa. Number 5. Corsair K63 Wireless. The compact Corsair K63 Wireless comes packed with features. Cherry MX red switches. Check. Media controls and wrist rest. Check. Blue backlights. Check. The reason for my hesitance on the last point is that the battery life of the K63 Wireless is already pretty abysmal without it. Its integrated rechargeable battery lasts a measly 15 hours with the lights set to medium and 25 hours at the lowest brightness. Corsair quotes the battery life to be 75 hours with the backlights off, at which point the inclusion of the backlight seems like a redundant decision. Corsair recommends plugging it in for uninterrupted gameplay, but doesn't that defeat the purpose of a wireless keyboard? Battery issue aside, the K63 Wireless is a solid board. The keys are responsive, and all its handy features make getting through your day a little easier. You can also seat the K63 Wireless in the Corsair lapboard for gaming in the living room. Neat. Number 4. Logitech G915 TKL. The G915 TKL takes the best wireless gaming keyboard quality of the larger unit but shrinks it down to TKL size. It sports the same excellent lightspeed wireless connection and high-quality build and design as its larger sibling. That means you get separate media controls and an aluminum-on-plastic chassis which makes it seriously robust. You also get the fancy new Logitech switches, more closely aping the Cherry MX design than the original Roamer G switches. The low-profile Logitech GL, a variant of the Kale Chalk switch, is one of the best short-stack mech switches and is as responsive as it is ditty. Some of the best bits of the G915 have been retained with the G915 TKL. The Logitech GL switch, a variant of Kale's low-profile Chalk, is superb. My review unit came equipped with the tactile variant, and while I don't find it quite as responsive and as much of a joy to use as the clicky GL switch, it's probably the least clunky low-profile tactile switch I've come across. The choice is yours. Anyways, the G915 TKL is available in tactile, clicky, and linear. But you have to make some sacrifices for the Tenculus design's compact nature, which means no macro keys. Well, no physical ones anyway. The macros are now a secondary function of the F keys, and you can jump into the Logitech G software to prioritize them. The G915 TKL excels in almost every way, if only it were a few bucks cheaper still than the full-size G915. This is an incredibly expensive keyboard. And while I've not let that put me off before, there doesn't seem to have been a great deal done on Logitech's part to slim down the price tag. $20 for a significant reduction in keys, switches, and materials doesn't fill me with a great deal of confidence as to how pricey the original G915's part list was, to begin with. Number 3. Logitech G613. The technology behind wireless peripherals has come a long way, and Logitech's Lightspeed wireless connectivity is a prime example. The G613 never once dropped a connection despite the plethora of wireless devices on our desks. It also matches wired peripherals in terms of stability and responsiveness. It's seriously efficient too. A pair of AA batteries can push up to 18 months of continuous use. Though it's designed for practicality first, it's anything but bland. A second glance reveals a row of dedicated macros, media controls, and a volume rocker. The grippy wrist rest is spacious, too, although it's worth noting that it isn't removable and lacks in height to make it really worthwhile. Understandably, backlights were cut to conserve battery. A black and gray color scheme with the merest hint of blue, a set of comfortably shaped and clearly labeled keys, and Romer G key switches, a co-development between Logitech and Omron, with a high actuation bump, and a satisfyingly soft feel. Like other Romer G devices, there's a harmonic ring to the many springs inside the G613 that sings out if you hammer it hard, but otherwise, we're more than happy with the experience of typing on them. They're not as tooth-loosening loud as many switches you'll find, but that's probably for the best. This proprietary Romer G switch features a travel distance of just 3 mm and a subtle tactile bump. Its mild, quiet nature makes it suitable for both gaming and typing. Judged by its merits alone, Logitech's G613 is an excellent keyboard, and Lightspeed is a tremendous wireless technology, but we wouldn't consider paying a full $150 for it if it were a wired model. If you absolutely must have mechanical action, and can only sit 10 feet away from your PC, at last, you have a solution, but compromise on just one of those factors, and there are cheaper and more feature-rich keyboards out there that'll serve you just as well. Number 2. Keytron K2. The Keytron K2 redefines affordability for wireless gaming keyboards. It starts out at just $69, and for that, you get a decent-sized gaming keyboard with great wireless functionality and Gateron mechanical switches. The Keytron K2 features the ability to connect to up to 3 devices at a time, which I found particularly handy when utilizing it either on my PC or MacBook Pro to work and write. Speaking of macOS and connectivity, on the K2's left-hand side, there are a couple of different switches that allow you to choose whether you want it work via Bluetooth or the included cable or use it in Windows or Mac mode. All the changes are practically instantaneous, and as for the pairing process via Bluetooth, it couldn't have been simpler. The Keytron K2 uses Gateron Brown switches which are, in essence, a typist switch with their handy little tactile bump halfway down the travel. Still, with these pre-lubed Gateron contenders, there's no reason why you couldn't indulge in some gaming with them, as I did for this review. They're pleasantly smooth to use for it, even with the bump, and with the K2 also featuring full NKRO can also be seen as a pretty handy gaming board. Battery life is also something to write home about, with a 4000 mAh capacity ensuring the K2 can go the distance, with or without backlighting. You'll find 68 hours with full lighting and 240 hours with it off, meaning you can go weeks without touching the USB Type-C charging cable. All in all, though, if you're looking for an entry-level mechanical keyboard, this is a good choice, especially if you're working from home and using multiple devices. That's not even considering its wireless capability, which feels like the icing on the cake of the already impressive Keytron K2. Number 1. Logitech G915. Wireless keyboards have often translated to the antithesis of what a gaming keyboard should be: slow, unresponsive, and clunky. That's no longer the case, and the most recent wireless technology from Logitech, built into the G915, has successfully done away with that notion. The G915 is slim but remarkably dense, weighing a bit more than you'd think from the looks. The aluminum-on-plastic frame is incredibly sturdy and looks like a piece of modern art. However, the real test is in battery life. Thankfully, the G915 passes with flying colors, boasting a 30-plus hour lifespan with full RGB brightness on a single charge. Turning off the RGB lighting dramatically extends that life, allowing it to function for up to 100 hours without recharging, but who's going to do that? The sole drawback to the G915 is its astronomical price tag. At an MSRP of $250, it's drastically more expensive than our favorite wired mechanical keyboard, the Corsair K95 Platinum. The G915 does, however, have an identical wired cousin, the G815, which is only $150. The Logitech G915 feels like a logical evolution of what a wireless mechanical keyboard should be, featuring excellent connectivity, impressive battery life, and an uncompromising array of features. To those who can afford it. That ticks all the checkboxes for wireless connectivity, but the point still stands that a wireless keyboard isn't high up on my must-have list. It keeps my desk clean, and I find it convenient for my adjustable standing desk sans cable routing, but it's far less important than, say, a wireless gaming mouse. I could go without a wireless gaming keyboard, but I won't willingly return to a wired headset without very good, almost exclusively audiophile, reasons. And at $230 a pop, the G915 TKL certainly makes you think about what you really need. It's a big price tag for a small keyboard. You'd usually find tankulous designs coming in at a lower price point than full-size kit, yet we're looking at just $20 between the G915 TKL and G915 Lightspeed. It's not a huge saving considering how much has been shaved off from the core G915 design. At least some of the best bits of the G915 have been retained with the G915 TKL. The Logitech GL Switch, a variant of Kayla's low-profile chalk, is superb. My review unit came equipped with the tactile variant, and while I don't find it quite as responsive and as much of a joy to use as the clicky GL Switch, it's probably the least clunky low-profile tactile switch I've come across. The choice is yours. Anyways, the G915 TKL is available in tactile, clicky, and linear.